Hi, I'm E.D. Lewis, and welcome back to my channel, E.D. Lewis Reviews, back for another nocturnal review. I hope everybody's having a great September. I hope everybody had a great Labor Day weekend, and has had a great week as well. Before we get started, I'm going to do just a little short show and tell. Too many S's there. Or too many S words. I know, it's only two, but still. You may wonder, why am I wearing what looks like pajamas? Well, I think it's been far enough for my birthday now that I can actually, because I do not give out when my birthday is and stuff, so that's a secret. But my partner got me these Halloween pajamas as part of my birthday, and he suggested that I wear them as, wear them for my next video. So these are the pajamas. There's candy in the skeleton's, stomach, and the pants have candy all over them. And actually, the skeleton part here glows in the dark. So I actually officially now have a pair of Halloween pajamas. I did see them last year, I think it was, and I was kind of interested, but I didn't say anything. And well, I have some now. So anyway, that was my brief little show and tell. Alright, let's get on with the review. So, this is going to be a review on a graphic novel, and it's another Dark Shadows review, so we are continuing to celebrate, Dark Shadow, 55 years of Dark Shadows. I just don't know when I'm going to do another Dark Shadows review after this for a bit, but I thought I'd go ahead and do this one, since this was a fairly recent read for me. I'll just go ahead, and, so here is the cover. Sorry for the glare. And it's Dark Shadows Vampirella. There's Barnabas, and of course there's Vampirella. And it's from Dynamite Comics from 2012. Let me just start with my brief little synopsis here, and then we'll get into talking about it. And how I came by it, and stuff. Kind of my little backstory with it too. So please stay tuned. Alright. The news story of a girl going missing in New York catches the attention of Quentin Collins, who quickly shares the news, with his cousin Barnabas. The girl is the descendant of one of Barnabas's first victims when he became a vampire 200 years ago. Since then, he has made a vow to look after his victim's descendants. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words here. Barnabas Collins travels to New York to investigate, but at the same time, Vampirella is on the case, too. Together, they must team up to thwart the plans of the evil Bathory and her henchman, Jack the Ripper. So we go into a little bit of vampire history there with Elizabeth Bathory, if you know who she is, the Blood Countess, who is reported to have, blood and bathed in the blood of, what was it, they claim 300 virgin girls. And of course we have Jack the Ripper in there, who is of course very famous for killing prostitutes in Whitechapel in the 1880s. And many stories of course have been written, connecting Jack the Ripper with vampires, and this is no different. So, well, it is different because anyway. But this is not the first time Elizabeth Bathory, of course, has been connected with vampires, because, there's movies, there's books, comics, too, so. But this was my first outing with Vampirella. I've known about her. I'm, familiar with, who she is, but I don't really know much about her. I'm kind of a novice. This actually came to my possession the last time I did a comic or a graphic novel review was Dark Shadows Year 1, and John from Books of Blood actually sent me a message on Instagram, and he brought it to my attention. Hey, do you know about this, or have you seen this, or, and I said, I actually forgot about it. Because back in 2012, when they were advertising it, when Dynamite Comics was already doing their Dark Shadows comics to continue, I keep looking over the covers that you want to know I'm looking at, to continue the original series, I saw this one advertised, and it's 5 issues, I think, long. The graphic novel, of course, has all the issues, and you can also get to see the covers of each one, which maybe I should do that. I should show the covers really quick. But at my, kind of the local place where I would go that has books and movies and music and comics, it was Hastings Books, if anybody knows what that is, when it existed, they never got it. It was advertised in the comics and stuff, but they never got it, so I never got to read it, and I was kind of curious. Like I said, I don't know much about Vampirella, so this was my first outing with her. After John had sent me that message, I ended up getting a copy of it. He said it was really good, and he wasn't wrong. Oh, I forgot something I was going to use in this video. I just remembered now. Oh well. So, I read it not too awful long ago, and I really enjoyed it. I do have some things to comment about. These are not bad comments, by the way. Which I wish I knew more about Vampirella. I know that there's a movie, and I know she's a superhero, and she's a vampire, and her nemesis is Dracula, and she dresses rather provocatively, and that's all I really know. I'm sure John at BookTube can tell you a lot more. He's read several of the comics and graphic novels, so he would be the one to ask about it. So, I don't know much. I know that they are also planning, or I've heard, they're planning to do a new adaptation. So I'd be interested in even seeing the movie, but for some reason I'm thinking I've heard that the movie kind of didn't go so well. But I don't know. But anyway. So, okay. There were some interesting things I noticed in here. One of them is that Barnabas can move about in the daylight. Not in the daylight, but during the daylight hours. Just, you know, he just can't, come in contact with the sun. In the original series of Dark Shadows, he couldn't do that. He always went to his coffin and he was, like, basically dead until the sun went down, and then he woke up, and then he, but he couldn't move about, during daylight hours. Quentin has control over his werewolf curse is another thing I thought was rather interesting. I don't know if he still has the portrait, because the portrait in the original series, if you haven't seen it, there was a portrait made of Quentin, kind of like Dorian Gray. It kept him young forever, but it also kept the werewolf curse under control. The portrait would turn into a werewolf, the portrait of a werewolf, but he would not, and he remained eternally young, so he became immortal because of that portrait. In this, though, he has the power to turn into a wolf, and he doesn't need the full moon either now, so he can turn into it at will. So I thought that was rather interesting, and it actually really helped with the story. I mean, it helped Barnabas and Vampirella along that he could do that, so that was really cool. Also, Quentin is not as grim as he kind of was becoming in the TV show. He's more of his old charming self, but not so arrogant like he was when we first met him in the TV series. So, I mean, he's retained that charm, and he's become less grim, so that's good. Barnabas does make a joke, which I thought was funny because it's so out of character for him, but it works perfect in this medium. I don't know if it would have worked great in the show, but it works here. A famous vampire does make... Another famous vampire that's not Barnabas or Vampirella does make a cameo in this graphic novel. I will not tell you who that is. You will just have to read it to find out, unless you've read it already. And then you know who I'm talking about. Also, the time period. I wasn't really sure when this takes place, because it clearly wasn't taking place in the early 1970s when the show had left off. It must be taking place more of modern day or something, so I have no idea. Also, there was like several servants in this at the beginning of it when Quentin was reading the newspaper. There's several servants at Collinwood, and Collinwood only had, at the time of the show, Mrs. Johnson, and I don't know if you consider Willie Loomis a servant because he was Barnabas' servant, but he didn't serve at Collinwood though, so... And Matthew Morgan was already dead by that point. Barnabas never came in contact with him. So, I don't know. But we never see any of the other Collins family members except for Barnabas and Quentin. But it was really good nonetheless. So, I actually forgot to grab my little bat thing. I haven't I was going to do haunted houses, like, you know, I give this book so many haunted houses for a rating system. I have never gotten around to doing that. I thought, oh no, I'll just do bats, they're easier. And I haven't made my little bat thing yet, but I do have a little bat patch, and I meant to grab it before I started filming. So, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what I gave this book on Goodreads. Of course, it stars on Bookreads. I gave it 4 out of 5 bats. It was very good. It's written by the same author who wrote the graphic novel Dark Shadows Year 1. It's Mark and Draco, and it came out in 2012. They probably compiled it together as a graphic novel, though, in 2013, but I'm not really sure. Oh yeah, let's do the covers really quick before we end. So, let me pull it back up. My tablet is kind of low on power, but that's okay. Well, this is clearly, you know, Dynamite. You know, they always did theirs at the top there, so it said number 1. So this is the cover for number 1, and it's also the cover for, you know, the main one. You know, for the whole thing. There's also, like, previews to other comics in here, just like with the other Dark Shadows one that I read. Oh, maybe they don't. Maybe they don't have it. I swore this one had all the... Oh, because it had it before each part. Oy. That's right. I forgot. Maybe I shouldn't do this then. Because I feel like we're going to be here for a while. And the table of contents... There's not really a table of contents. This is a really cool cover right here. So you're getting glare there. Vampirella down there, Barnabas above her, and all the bats, and there's the moon behind them. I thought that was really cool. Oh. I accidentally tapped on the... the little panels, and it'll blow them up. I actually did that by accident when I was reading it, and I was fighting with it trying to get it back. There's the one for number 3, where we get Barnabas and Vampirella up close. This video is already becoming longer than I meant it to be. Barnabas looks really young here. I thought that was kind of weird. But there's another one. Yeah, I thought that one was kind of odd, but you know. I think there's 5. But there's some interesting things that happen to them in this, and of course Vampirella and Barnabas come to blows a little bit. But, I mean, that just makes it more interesting that they do. I think this is the final part. And this actually almost looks like they're, like, at the old house or a mausoleum. No, they're at a mausoleum. Maybe it's supposed to be in Collinsport, I don't know. But, there's Barnabas and Vampirella. And several of these covers of the later parts, they make Barnabas look younger than he is. I think that is it, yeah. That is the end of it, so... Okay, so, that's my review, and I will see you all next time for another review. Please give a like, please comment down below. If you'd like to school me about Vampirella, please feel free. I would love to learn more about her. There's also another one of her graphic novels I'd really like to read, and that's Vampirella versus Dracula. So, but I don't know when I'm going to get my hands on that, so, anyway. That's my review. I will see you all next time, and please, you know, feel free to comment. Please hit like, please hit that subscribe with the little bell, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.